Now going to move into the department's reward and recognition ceremony. If I could invite the governor and the secretary and the commissioner to step down. Deputy commissioner, according to his words, I think. We're going Keith. We're going to start with our Preservation of Life Awards, and I'd like to invite Keith Talon to speak.
Honored graduates, it's with distinct honor and privilege that on behalf of the Field Service Division of the Vermont Department of Corrections that we present the Preservation of Life Award to Mr. Walter Bailey. While on duty as a community correctional officer in the town of St. Albans, Walt responded to a furlough offender's residence as he had been informed that the offender was potentially in crisis. Within minutes of his arrival at the residence, Walter witnessed the young man swallow a handful of pills in an apparent attempt to cause himself harm. Walt's assessment of the scene, prior knowledge of the individual, and years of experience allowed him to respond quickly and effectively, resulting in the offender's life being saved. Congratulations, Walter. Please come forward.
As the Department of Correction Facility Executive, I would ask that John Cannon, Edward Morley, and Brandon Bushey please rise. Correctional Officer Brandon Bushey was a new employee having graduated from the academy and finished his shadow week only a few weeks prior to the date of this incident. During his rounds, Officer Bushey discovered an inmate hanging from a shoelace in his cell. Officer Bushey called in the emergency over his radio and then held up the inmate's body while his colleagues responded. Correctional Facility Shift Supervisor John Cannon and CO Morley cut the inmate down. The inmate was unresponsive and was placed on life support at the local hospital, but later made a full recovery due to the actions of these staff. Gentlemen, please come forward. I would ask at this time that Jonathon, Turek, and David Bailey please rise. Correctional Facilities Supervisor Turek was escorting an inmate into the segregation unit who had swallowed what was thought to be some type of contraband. As they entered the unit, Mr. Turek was again asked the inmate if she was willing to give the contraband to him. At this time, he noticed that she could not speak and that her skin color was changing. Shift Supervisor Turek immediately recognized that she was choking and immediately started life-saving procedures using the Heimlich maneuver. Rendering assistance, CO Bailey took over administering the Heimlich maneuver, successfully dislodging the object, which was later identified as a cigarette lighter. These officers' immediate intervention and awareness were instrumental in saving this woman's life. Gentlemen, please come forward. I would ask at this time that Correctional Officer Andrew Thibault please rise. Correctional Officer Andrew Thibault responded to an incident at the Southern State Correctional Facility. An inmate was in a highly agitated state, ran up the stairs to the upper tier, and began to climb over the railing. CO Thibault responded quickly, sprinting up the stairs to the inmate. The inmate by this time had both legs over the railing and was leaning as if to jump. Officer Thibault secured the inmate's right arm and shoulders, preventing the inmate from jumping and/or falling. His actions clearly saved this inmate from significant injury. Andrew, please come forward. I would ask that Stephen Brooks, Jason Satterlee, Robert Sheehan, and Matthew Engals please rise. An inmate at the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility had tied a blanket around his neck and was attempting to take his own life. These officers rendered assistance immediately by attempting first to untie the blanket, and when that failed, they were able to lift the inmate off the ground so that other staff could intervene, thus saving the inmate's life. Gentlemen, please come forward.
Congratulations to all the Preservation of Life winners.